It's hard for me to criticise, the 19 losses because, I'm all the way over in Wales. I can't say what Ben's environment was like and how he thought about performance. But, the reality is that in coming into an Olympic year, you would want to see yourself in that 1-2 position more often, because ultimately the things that you are working on in an environment, in your trainings, on field, how you operate as a team, you want to see that winning out in tournaments. So you can go, yeah, we're getting that right. I can see we're on a path. The reality is that you'll get 2 or 3 things right and you'll get 1 or 2 things that aren't so good. But what you don't want to do is the balance to be too far on the negative. So actually, for players, once they get to a point where they can recognize what they're good at, we call it their super strength, and how you can put that into the game time and time again, that they just accept that that's what they're good at. Examples would be kick-off chase, how good the team was under Ben Ryan as well. And I think back to the likes of Apisai Domelaulai, I think about Chasavera Malua, and now I think about people like with Joshua Vakuranambili and Joe Tolatholo, and just that ability to be knowing what you're good at. When you win tournaments or you find yourself in the top 2, you start to realize that that's a real power that we have, and we can work on that. And then over here, maybe, what we have termed, and Osir likes to call, the control chaos bit, which Fijians are the best in the world at. How do we get to that being good and accurate and winning games? Then over here, you've got the defense, which is, how can you be on your feet? How can you make good decisions at the breakdown? How can you be aggressive and make good tackles? And so all of these things, when you're winning tournaments, you're normally pushing them all up here at the same time. When you're not winning tournaments, 1 might be here and 4 down here. And that makes it hard, and that creates pressure. And ultimately, the 19 tournaments have probably demonstrated that there's not a consistency in that level of performance. Either from a training environment, I can't comment, because obviously I haven't been here for that. So the challenge for us would be, in these next 3 tournaments, is what elements of our games, men's and women's, are we going to, in my head, in my opinion, are we going to target to be able to progress to the point that we know we're getting more right and nudging that ticker, if you like, that marker over to the positives more than the negatives? Because ultimately that's where confidence comes from, ultimately that's where belief comes from, and ultimately that's where consistency of performance, the ability to replicate a technique time and time again with accuracy under pressure, is what skill is. And that's what we've always been the best at in the world.